Whew, this is a big one.
8 songs in half an hour.
Well, would you also count the opening there too? Because you're counting the ending.
Okay, fine. 9 songs in half an hour.
You just added one.
Because of the opening. Well, I was only counting things that we don't see every time in the episode. So yeah, 8 songs in 1/2 an hour.
What, because of the different ending?
Yes.
Yeah, this had a lot of music. Actually, the movie that came out right after this...
let's not talk about that.
Yeah, you could imagine, at this point, yeah. Ending has finally come. For this show as we know it, the ending has come. As a matter of fact, I think the show actually bumps up to a rating of Y7 after this point.
Awesome. What if it was TV-14? That would be this show would be awesome if they could get away with more. This is amazing. That's probably the comic books, though.
People trying to sell those pony figures.
Oh, the Doctor and Derpy. Or Ditzy, or Bubbles, or whatever the heck you want to call her. Some people call her Bubbles. I like that one personally because it's not mean. And I like Derpy. I think if I was in that universe, I would refer to her as Bubbles. But anyway.
Yes.
I just have to say this again. 8 songs in half an hour. Isn't that a bit much?
Okay, I'm surprised you're not focusing on the one biggest part of this.
Oh yeah, Twilight Gets Wings. Cool. That doesn't bother me at all. That's kind of cool. The princess thing. Now that I understand, now I'm trying to understand now.
From what I can understand is that clearly princessdom is earned, and there is actually a book out there. I think it's called. It takes place between seasons 3 and 4. And it's Twilight worrying, oh, what if I'm going to be given my own kingdom?
I don't think it works that way. See, and this is my theory.
Well, think of it. What if it's like a serfdom?
I don't think it is.
It's like a large serfdom, because think of it. Ponyville was granted to the Apple family by Princess Celestia.
But I think she's the only real one that actually has any power over any land, aside from Cadence, who we know rules the Crystal Empire. But what does Luna have power over besides Dreams and Night? I feel like
I would think that those are 2 very big things.
Yeah, but it's not a place so much as it is a thing. So maybe they have, like, she was the princess of love before, Cadence.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just something they have a power over.
So what's Twilight going to be?
Princess of Magic.
Princess of Magic?
That's what I think.
I would think more Princess of Friendship with the Knights of Harmony.
Friendship is magic.
Yes.
And there you got me to say it finally.
Ha!
And it was in context, though, so don't have too big a victory.
Hey, it would have been in context the last time.
I want to go a little off subject here and say, I really think I might be a hipster now because I have a beard, I'm smoking cloves, and I'm watching My Little Pony.
Yeah, but you're not doing any of it ironically.
That's true. I actually enjoy these things, so I guess I'm not a hipster.
You're doing it genuinely
because this show is amazing.
Yes. And
I can't believe you didn't make me watch this sooner.
I did try making you watch.
You tried, but you didn't try hard enough.
Nah, I had to get you, eased in over time. Actually, this was a plan of mine and your brother's for months.
Who I am still in the middle of a mind game with.
He knows.
He knows I know. I'm trying to get him to admit it first.
You know I actually
And I know that he knows that he knows that I know. And you know that he knows that I know that he knows.
Yeah, literally.
Pinkie Pie moment.
Last week you had the Halloween party.
Yeah.
That entire party.
Does he even know about the game?
Yes,
he's aware of it.
I let him know about the game.
That's good. This will be even more fun now.
Yes, I'm literally trying to push the mind game further myself by letting the other side know everything about the other side without letting.
Well, whose side are you on?
I'm on whoever's will admit first.
All right, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna get him this weekend.
I'm on whoever would wind up.
I can't wait till he watches this after I do win the game. He's gonna be like, "You jerk! Fuck you!"
No,
But anyway, back to the episode.
Nah, I don't even think he's trying to... I think he's trying to just...
Well, let's give a little history on this.
I actually told him that the game... Yes, you go ahead and give the history and I'll give an update.
My brother has been into this show for how long? How long was it? A little while now?
We've been talking about it since, season 4 started.
So he's been into this for a while. I didn't want to watch it because it's called My Little Pony. That's the biggest thing about it. All I could think about was girly toys.
Which, you got me one for my birthday.
I got him a Derpy for his birthday.
I have a Doctor Who's figure. I showed him Doctor Who's and the Assistant, and, well, my doctor needed a companion, and heck, even my friend Rena was agreeing to that one. Because the Doctor can't travel alone.
The Doctor cannot travel alone.
Have you ever watched Doctor Who?
Doctor Who?
Hmm?
A little bit. I'm still trying to get it.
It's definitely worth watching.
But back to the game.
Back to
My brother...
game. Oh, yeah.
My brother has been watching this for a while. Mm-hmm. Now, he knows that I've been watching it, and I know that he's been watching it. But the thing is, neither of us will admit it to each other. Now, I don't care. I don't care about admitting it to him. But the thing is, I want to hear him say it first, so I'm making it into a little mind game here. And I'm a lot smarter than he is, and I think that Golden Scales here can attest to that. Actually, I'm a lot smarter than he is.
It doesn't seem like either of you are willing to call the other out. You're both waiting patiently.
It's subtlety.
Because he knows about these vlogs too.
It's King Somra. It's subtlety. It's pure subtlety.
He knows about these vlogs too. I'm not sure if he watches them, but he knows about them.
God, I hope not.
He does.
Does he know about my OC? Don't tell him about the OC yet.
If he knows about the vlogs, he probably knows about the OC.
Okay, anyway, back to the game.
But regardless,
we're both trying to draw it out of each other.
I think it's literally not even trying to draw it out of each other. Have you guys even... Well, you're just making references back and forth and saying, do you know where that's from? I can't remember.
No, that's what he's doing. I said, oh, it's just a thing. Like, I'm pretending like I don't know that he knows. But he knows that I know that he knows now. And I know that he knows that I know that he knows.
Are you sending hints back that you might be...
Very subtle ones.
Like what?
But he also knows that I know that he knows, and you know that he knows that I know, and he knows that you know that I know that he knows that I know that you know that he knows...
You're giving me a headache!
Sorry, I'm channeling Pinkie Pie right now. Or my character does those things too. But anyway, not my character, me, in character. Anyway.
I consider these vlogs like completely teetering on the fourth wall for us because, come on, it's...
Nick, I've broken Golden Scales. I've broken the fourth wall in real life, Rocky, and you know it.
Rocky, we're sitting on a live-action couch.
It's nice. I wish they had these in Ponyville. No. Anyway, back on subject. Let's just get back to the episode. I think they understand the game, and they understand that I like Pinkie Pie.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit of Luna in this episode, which was nice.
But yeah, you were giving me a headache there. So what was the point you're trying to say?
Point is, I'm just messing with him. I don't know if he knows that I'm messing with him. I don't know if he thinks that he's messing with me, or if he thinks that I'm messing with him because he's messing with me, or that he thinks that I'm messing... You know what? Let's stop that right now because that's going to go forever. Basically, the game is we're trying to get the other to admit it first. It's not admit. I don't like that word because that implies shame.
Without trying to actually point out proof.
I'm not ashamed of what I am. I'm a brony. I'm a Satanist.
Okay, the question is, I don't think... If he knows about these vlogs, I'm really not sure if he actually has looked into it or not.
I don't think so. He would have said something.
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to play out the game that you'll admit it yourself without him pointing out proof.
So he thinks. He's not going to win this game. You know, I'm smarter than Brian.
Meh.
I just said his name on the air. Brian, my brother, Brian. I did it again. My brother...
Van Horn.
I wonder if he made no see if we would be brothers. Anyway, that's not important. What's important right now... No, my character is an only child.
Nah, it would be interesting to have your brother on for shits and giggles.
It would mess with my headcanon a lot, though. He could be my cousin or something. But he couldn't be my brother, because I've got a lot going on in my headcanon that would...
What exactly would change about your backstory that I don't know about with... that would involve you having a brother? Being that most of your backstory is just how you broke your horn. How you broke your horn and stuff that we have planned for sketches coming up.
Fear and Loathing in Las Pegasus.
Coming what, February 20th?
February 20th.
That is our deadline. If we do not accomplish it...
We
need a dare for that. We need to set up, like, we have to do something if it's not up by the 20th.
I will go out in public wearing a Pinkie Pie shirt that says, I'm a brony, so what? And I will go somewhere where bronies are hated.
We don't wear brony shirts at all. I'll go to work wearing one.
Yes. I will go to work wearing one on one of my casual days.
I will go to work. I will get a selfie in the office wearing a brony shirt.
But it's got to happen because that's the 10th anniversary of Hunter S. Thompson's death.
Yes. If we do not have this out by February 20th, Fear and Loathing in Las Pegasus, and that's our season.
Oh, bucket! I'll do it anyway.
That's our...
Either way, we'll do it.
Yeah, true. We'll probably do it anyway at some point once, because I've actually told a couple of my coworkers about these.
It's a good show. And see, that's the problem, is people just judge it by what it is. My Little Pony. But really, you got to dig deeper. You got to think, it's not what it was in the 80s or the 90s.
No, it isn't. It's totally...
It's just the namesake, really.
I wouldn't say revamped.
Not even that. It's a whole new thing.
Yeah, it's reborn.
Not even that. It's like a whole new show. They took the title, they took the idea of sentient ponies, and they made a whole different thing out of it. And I love it.
I don't know. I think they just literally did what we started to do after a while, and that's disregard the fact that they are candy-colored miniature horses.
Yes.
And the stories are relatable. The characters are entertaining.
The characters are awesome.
The jokes are hilarious.
And the bat cannon, too.
And then when you put the cartoon, yeah, the fandom is awesome as well. The fandom is just
like, I mean, just look
something
behind.
to really get into as well, because
they give us like just enough clues so the fans can see these characters and make up all this stuff like Button Mash, Derpy, or Ditzy, or Bubbles. I'm gonna call her Bubbles from now on, because that's nicer. And
I'm sorry, you say Bubbles, I'm just going to think of another thing that Lauren Faust worked on.
The Powerpuff Girls. I wasn't a fan.
Albeit, Lauren Faust was not in on this season.
No. I still say that him and the Powerpuff Girls should have been played by Tim Curry. I say that about a lot of people, don't I?
Yes!
Well, Tim Curry's awesome!
Hang on, who else did we say would be freakier if he was voiced by Tim Curry? Yeah, I was actually the one who said it. Freaky Fred! Courage and Power of the Dogs.
Courage. Oh, I should do the voice. Courage.
I got a rubber band here.
Okay, no rubber bands. You know how I feel about rubber bands.
Actually, I don't.
Well, no, you do.
Okay.
I don't like rubber bands. I got a rubber band in the eye once, and it's left me scarred.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, rubber band in the eye, moving on.
Okay. You were bringing up a lot about the cutie marks too this episode.
Yes!
We were getting way too off topic on this.
The cutie marks. They switch their cutie marks, and somehow that switches their memories too? That's what I don't understand. Like, does a picture on your butt, does that tell you who you are? I have a tattoo of Robert Englund on my butt. Does that make me Robert Englund? I just said that out loud, didn't I? You want to see it?
I'd pass. I'm gonna pass.
I was a Freddy fan, okay?
What?
I was drunk and I was into Nightmare on Elm Street.
Are you actually serious?
Yes!
Honest to godly serious.
There is a tattoo of Robert Englund on my left butt cheek from one time when I got drunk a year ago.
Who can verify this?
Nobody. Nobody's seen it. I don't moon people since I got it.
So nobody can verify it. Okay.
I can show you right now.
Who's someone that you moon at some point when you got it?
Nobody. I only moon people when I'm drunk. Which
you're not
may have happened now. You remember last week when we were playing Minecraft and I was drunk? That's the kind of drunk I have to be to moon somebody.
Oh, God.
And you don't want that. And that's only if I drink like 3 8-ounce glasses of rum without any ice. But yes, there's a tattoo of Robert Englund on my left butt cheek. Now you all know. Thank you for listening.
So is that your cutie mark?
No. That would be like right here, I think. Or here.
You're out of thigh?
Because it's somewhere on your side. Because like with them, look, if this is your hip, it's like on their hip and like right below their hip. So I'd have to guess it would be like right on the outer thigh on the side of your leg. So no, that would not be it.
So actually transferring it completely to human anatomy, it would be on...
Yeah, side of the leg. Now if it was humans, I would guess it would be on their shoulder, chest, or upper back. Because that would be like something more... Or I would say their face, but that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, the face is a little too extreme.
That's what I mean. But, you know, it would be somewhere... it would probably be on the arm, right here. They can't see me.
They can't see it.
Lower arm, because it would be somewhere see it.
On the dominant arm, too.
Yes.
So, the forearm, top of it. You wouldn't think like the hand? Well, dominant.
Or the hand, even.
Dominant hand.
Yeah. Something like that, where it's like something that's like really important. Because, you know, horses run a lot. So they need their legs. When they break their leg, they get turned into glue. Elmer's bats.
Oh.
Gonna ignore the friendship is witchcraft reference?
What was that? I kind of ignore all jokes that... I kind of went deaf to every single joke from that show.
Elmer's bath.
Okay, we are...
We'll review that later.
We have more to put...
About the cutie marks.
Yeah, we have more to talk about this episode, but after this, I am writing a list of things that we have to talk about with Friendship is Witchcraft.
I'm okay with that. That'll be fun.
Because this is something we really need to discuss because I do not like that series.
Sure thing, Gravitron.
And I want to have this debate with you.
Sure thing, Gravitron.
As to why is it considered funny?
Well,
because I have the complete...
well, let's keep that debate for later.
Yeah, I have
Just
mostly
because
negative, you have mostly positive. Stay tuned, folks, for the great debate of...
Is Friendship is
Friendship is Witchcraft funny? We have two complete opposite sides, a couple same
Maybe I can change your view on it.
A couple same points, a couple...
Sweetie bot.
A couple same points from both of us going the other ways around.
You will never hear this word from me about anything else. Sweetie bot is fucking adorable.
But yes, let us...
You will never hear that word from me again.
Let us stop this commercial of a video that's probably going to be uploaded the same day this is.
Okay, anyway, yeah, back to the episode. Dude, what are the cutie marks? Because they appear after they find their talent, right?
Yeah, they seem to appear after they have the self-realization of their talent.
So I think it's like a brand when they discover it that's just... I wouldn't expect it to actually switch who they are, so I have to imagine the magic didn't just switch that, but it switched their personalities too, as well, also.
And here's actually another thing that I actually kept saying I'm gonna bring up in the vlog.
Bring it up now.
When they switch their cutie marks, note how those particular ponies would perceive the pony whose cutie mark they got.
Yeah.
Now think entirely of that, and now think of the lyrics of "It's what my cutie mark is telling me."
So, wow.
Applejack with rarities.
Yeah.
Rarity is more work based. She would perceive Rainbow Dash as her. What's the word I'm looking for?
Analog? Cheese?
Dude.
Hemi-Demi Semi-Quaker.
Job.
Thank you.
I was trying to think of an occupation, yes. Which is weather pony.
Yeah. And Rarity was really bad at that.
Uh-huh.
But see, that's the thing though.
But think of it, Rarity's style.
So their personality was still there. That's what I was about to say, actually.
Their personality was still there, but they literally thought they were supposed to do the thing that the cutie mark they had.
Are they slaves to images on their leg?
That is a scary concept.
Well, if I'm a slave to Robert Englund, then, well, I think Robert Englund's a great actor, so I'd be a good actor. Sure you want to see it?
Isn't he dead?
Robert Englund? No, he's still alive.
Original Freddy?
Yeah.
Dude, isn't he ancient now?
Yeah, he's pretty old. He was too old to play Freddy in the remake. They originally wanted him to.
Who they got is horrible.
Oh, God, Jackie Earle Haley. He was great as,
I didn't even recognize the guy's name, but I don't think I've seen him in anything else.
He was in The Watchmen. He was, Rorschach.
Actually, I have not seen The Watchmen.
We need to watch that.
I'm a geek. It's a sin to not have seen The Watchmen.
I don't consider it a sin when somebody hasn't seen something that... See, that's the cutie mark thought right there. Because you're a geek who've seen The Watchmen. Because you have a mark of a lightning on your leg. You have to control the weather. Okay. That's exactly what I was getting at.
Okay, it's not so much a sin. It's just something from...
You're depriving yourself.
Yes. That's what people are... That's what people actually say.
And it's a brilliant film.
I'm way too deep under my rock.
I rock?
My rock.
The Rainbow Rock? Let's get back to the episode.
Yes.
So,
by the way, do you want to try and actually dare to watch Equestria Girls after this? It did take place between the two seasons.
Let's watch it another time. I just want to watch the show right now.
Okay.
But anyway, just that thought.
Because I did tell you, I did watch Rainbow Rocks, and it does do a lot better.
We'll do those as like a double feature. We'll watch both of those after we finish the series, and then we'll review both of them separately. Sorry, I ate a lot of burgers.
We'll figure it out later on. We should just get through season 4.
I ate 4 cheeseburgers today.
Good for you.
Anyway, back to the episode.
Yeah.
But this is the way they were like saying it was before. They get their cutie mark when they find their talent. Does their cutie mark dictate their talent, or is it something that was in them already that the cutie mark
The cutie mark shows their talent.
Yeah. So are they born with a talent, or do they find a talent?
Maybe maybe it manipulated Rarity's personality into
Her talent's stupid. Making dresses? Why can't she also make men's clothes?
Nah, her talent is giving beauty to things.
Yeah.
Well, think of it.
Making them gaudy.
Anyone can make a dress. Look at the ones that Applejack made, though.
Look, I gotta tell you,
Rarity is a pony of aesthetics. That is her talent.
one of the greatest sins...
That's why she has 3 diamonds.
One of the greatest sins in Satanism is lack of aesthetics. She's a Satanist! Rarity is a Satanist. I choose to believe this. You don't argue with me.
That's your own headcanon.
Look, I like to put something of myself in the characters I enjoy.
That's your own headcanon.
But this is what I'm saying, though. Does that mean that, let's say they're in a horrible accident, and their cutie mark gets, scratched off. Does that mean they don't have a talent anymore?
Nah.
I felt bad for saying that.
Yeah.
But it's a valid question. Can they have their cutie mark removed like a tattoo and get a different one and get a different talent? That would be awesome! Rarity should be a knife, though, because... let's think about it. We saw her do karate. We've seen her pull rogue tactics. She's a rogue.
What would be better for a rogue than diamonds?
That's true. She's a rogue. Thank you. You've justified that by me.
And plus, again, if her talent is aesthetics, that would also explain the diamonds as well. What are they usually used for? To make jewelry even more beautiful.
Not to mention that a rogue is about their charisma, and aesthetics is important there. Mm-hmm. She's a rogue. What is Rainbow Dash? What did I say Rainbow Dash was?
And you could see why she decided, why you could have her talent be within weather.
Yes. Fluttershy is obviously a druid.
Gorgeous patterns. I mean, heck, look at Minecraft with when you can manipulate weather properly.
We made stars.
Yes, we made stars in our village in Minecraft.
Inzmare, if you're in the server, join us.
Yes, Count Rocky Van Horn and Golden Scales. Look us up at some point. We just made some building plots for
plots.
Yeah, he giggles every time I say that word now.
Twilight Sparkle became a princess. I became a count.
And I became owner.
Yes. So anyway, back to the episode. Off of Minecraft. So if they did lose their cutie mark, do you think they'd lose their talent? Because I feel like the magic also just scrambled their personalities, and that's why that happened.
I would think so too, because know how the spell was initially... It was cast on the elements.
Yeah. And that's part of them.
Uh-huh.
What if they were reincarnated from a previous...
We were questioning this partway through the episode too. Was how the elements seem to be connected to them. And I actually came up with a theory as well, which I implemented in my own campaign of World of Darkness with the reverse.
The element of malice, that's me.
The element of isolation is me.
Meet Mariska, my name.
Which is, as you could guess, with malice, the opposite of kindness.
Pinkie Pie.
Isolation is actually the opposite of magic.
Well, here's something funny. You were always saying that Pinkie Pie is the most like me, and I instantly gravitated towards her polar opposite when I chose my character in that.
Yeah.
And I didn't agree with that at first, because at first, as you know, I wanted to butt Pinkie Pie in the face.
But interestingly enough, you chose the counter thesis of her polar opposite.
No, you made a double negative there.
Exactly.
I used her antithesis. Antithesis. What's the word? I think you can pronounce it either way.
Yeah, I always pronounce it...
Like resume and resume.
I always pronounce it
I'm going to say antithesis. I'm going to say antithesis. I think that sounds better. But anyway, but yeah, I instantly gravitated towards the one that was on Pinkie Pie spectrum. Mm-hmm. Oh, but he's evil. Oh, we should record our World of Darkness campaigns. I want to get my character out there. He's going to be awesome. Mariska saved my life.
Maybe I might sign up for a Twitch account and we'll do live streams of it.
Mariska was my best friend.
If we ever manage to get enough players.
Did I even name my character yet?
I think you did, but we never made the character sheet. But anyway, back to this episode. I had to pause it to actually show them where the commercial break was. Yeah! They killed Twilight Sparkle! She was dead! Actually, there was...
How long was Celestia singing?
I don't know.
A solid 12 hours.
Honestly, they were just leaving the library at night as well, which makes me just think that they sat there for a while, took off the elements, and just said, "Okay, girls, let's get an alibi."
Exactly. They killed. Well, it's not their fault.
Here's something I'm wondering if you noticed. The scorch mark they left behind after Twilight evaporated.
Maybe they destroyed the original Twilight and her spirit when she got a new... It's like, maybe alicorns are part ethereal.
She got a new body?
Maybe alicorns are part ethereal. Maybe they're not... Because you notice the flowing manes, right? On Celestia and Luna?
Yeah, but it's not on Cadence.
Yeah, but Cadence isn't that great. She's not my favorite people.
Well, what if they're...
Although I do like that she can twist her body that way.
Well, we did see Nightmare Moon go ethereal. Mm-hmm. Quite a number of times in the pilot.
We saw Celestia do it just a minute ago. She's in the ethereal realm. So maybe alicorns are part ethereal, just like Earth, like the ones who, maybe just natural alicorns are like all ethereal and they take on a physical form, whereas ones like Twilight Sparkle and Cadence are like partially ethereal because they were created.
Yeah, I did mention to you that there is a book that tells us that Cadence was actually a Pegasus before she became an alicorn.
Corn on the cob. Alicorn on the cob.
That's already an overdone meme.
Oh, really? How come everything I come up with is already overdone? I should have gotten in this show when it was season 1. I would have made up all the memes. I came up with Rainbow Dash, Alicorn on the cob.
All on your own.
Man, this stinks. This bucks. Get it? Sucks?
Yeah.
But anyway, my theory, this is my headcanon. Those two are ethereal.
Okay, Luna and Celestia are ethereal?
Yeah, and Twilight and Cadence are only partially ethereal because they became alicorns. I feel like they might have been alicorns
I did bring up one interesting idea, which would have been more like a Shyamalan twist than anything.
What if they were Earth ponies first?
Yes. What do you think of that possibility?
I don't know. I feel like... Are they actually blood sisters?
That's actually even a really good question, because they, outside of their flowing mane, they look nothing alike.
This question has kept me up at night. I'm not kidding.
Really?
I was wondering, are they actual sisters? This show has kept me up at night because I got nothing else to focus my mind on because I have a depressing job as an insurance agent. Seriously, if someone offers you guys a job in insurance, don't take it. Don't take it! It's good money, but don't take it! I'm PTSD from that job. I have dreams about that job.
Sounds like me through college and high school.
Not since this show, though. Since this show instantly melts my job away. I'm not kidding. I'm serious.
You got something else to focus on.
Seriously, people who made it, thank you. You give me something else to focus on aside from my depressing
Megan
job.
McCarthy, M.A. Larson did this episode.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
those
by the
people
way,
he just said.
M.A. Larson, he actually did his own little video of this, where right after they evaporate Twilight, which, by the way, as I was mentioning with the scorch mark,
yeah, really?
It was her cutie mark on the ground.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was a 6-pointed star surrounded by other 6-pointed stars.
See, I prefer the 5-pointed star inverted.
Well, actually, interesting fact is that she has a 6-pointed star over with 5 other 6-pointed stars.
Yeah. And her brother's a prince, too.
And I think the big one in the middle is also overlapping with another one.
Yeah.
So... No, wait.
Maybe there's an evil Twilight. He's thinking.
Yeah, you go ahead and ramble for a bit while I do the math here.
So, it's kept me up at night wondering if they were blood sisters. They look nothing alike. Luna's shorter. What if Luna, like, when Celestia was ethereal, what if Luna was like some kind of darkness that was in her that came out? And she's her sister because of that.
Okay, I got the math now.
Okay.
Her cutie mark is one large 6-pointed star over another large 6-pointed star, surrounded by 5 6-pointed stars. Add the points of all those stars up, and you get 42. Twilight is the answer to life. And many people have already made that joke, but I felt the need to actually bring it out to you.
I like it. So, magic is the meaning of life.
Yes.
I like it. With a little bit of magic, we can do anything. Oh god, that sounded way more... You know what,
And if anyone didn't get that, go read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
If you haven't read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, your life is just incomplete.
If you I don't even mind if you don't read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Check out at least the radio show, because that did come first.
The movie wasn't horrible.
The movie wasn't horrible, but it missed a lot.
A lot.
And it skimmed through all 5 books like they were nothing.
That's true.
And they skipped so much, like them going to the past, them going to the future. The whole time travel. They stuck to one timeline the whole way.
Yeah, that kind of stunk. But turning back to the episode, I'm going to turn the car back to the episode.
Yes, let's turn this around. What's a car?
Good point. I really like this episode. This is going to be in my top tier. Even with the singing. That should shock you. Because you know how I feel about the singing.
Yeah, you were groaning throughout every single song that came up.
8 songs and half an hour. Isn't that a bit much?
Really? Another? I did tell you, Matt, musical mystery cure.
Yeah. I don't know. I really felt bad for Rainbow Dash when she was being cooked.
Friend trapped inside here.
Yeah, really. So they switched personalities. I feel like they could have gone further with that if that was the case, though. And, like, can you imagine Rainbow Dash if she was, like, Fluttershy?
I think it was kind of, like, again, testing the audience, because at this point, they do know that a lot of guys like us are watching.
Yeah.
And we're going to pick the hell out of this.
Well, here's my question, though. What, don't you think it would have been funny if we saw Rainbow Dash acting like Fluttershy?
Well, actually, that's another thing, is that would Rainbow Dash really perceive Fluttershy as?
Good question.
Living in a cottage with a bunch of animals.
Do they still know? They still know each other, though, right?
That's actually a good question, because note how the
Because they were, like, best friends since college.
Yeah, they would...
College flight school.
Actually, junior flight camp.
They've been best friends since they were kids.
Yeah. They've been best friends since they were fillies living in Cloudsdale.
Fluttershy really can't fly. I felt bad for saying that.
And sadly, she can't walk on clouds that well either.
She should have been an Earth pony.
Actually, in the original concept, she was going to be.
You mentioned that, but I like this better because it had some complication.
And Pinky was going to be a Pegasus.
See, and she seems more like the Pegasus type too. So it really seems like it had some complication.
So it breaks a little stereo. It breaks stereo.
Yeah, really, it helps. I have to wonder, when Fluttershy lost her wings and she freaked out in the Discord episode, what did she care? When did she ever use them?
Well, think of it. A body part of yours suddenly goes missing?
Body part you don't use.
Regardless.
Well, I use all my body parts.
Like, absolutely...
We've made the wing boner joke several times, right?
Yeah.
So what if it's like...
Hang on. Say, like, your pinky toes go missing.
Yeah.
Just suddenly.
I would worry that other parts were going to go missing, but if it was just my pinky toes, I really wouldn't care. But look at my pinky toes. They don't even touch the ground. They're worthless. Well, they're atrophied.
I'm trying to think of something to actually defend why Fluttershy would freak out about losing her wings. She does actually fly on occasion, just she doesn't fly it as well as Rainbow Dash.
Well, Rainbow Dash is the best flyer in Equestria.
She can't fly under pressure. She can't fly with stress. She has to be relaxed.
Her wings get glued down. Elmer's bath.
Anxiety disorder?
I have that.
Maybe that's what she has.
Huh.
It's not that she doesn't use her wings, it's that she has to be calm to fly. Otherwise, they're just going to lock up.
So in the same way, I'd have to be calm to use my pinky toes?
I don't know, because honestly...
Play guitar.
Yes.
If I didn't use my guitar and it disappeared,
yes.
I would freak out.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, so now it makes sense to me. So if I lost the ability to play guitar, I would actually probably lose my mind and start kicking people, Brian first. But if I got the ability to play bass like the Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, I'd probably be okay. But anyway, back to the episode. We keep veering off subject here.
Yes, because, oh god, there's a lot to talk about in this episode, and we keep coming up with other conversations.
It should have been 2 parts.
Yes, I have brought that up as well, is that because...
The singing would have been more spread out.
The singing would have been more spread out. We could have gotten a little more development as to why the main 6 acted that way, as opposed to pretty much the theory that I heard from other theorists, can't remember who, sorry guys, that I just said here.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It is an interesting thing, but yeah, it's...
Apple sack.
Apple sack?
Friendship is witchcraft. But anyway, back to the episode.
Hey.
I really, really like this one. This would be in my top tier, probably towards the bottom middle.
Bottom middle?
Yeah.
Just because of the songs, or?
The songs. And it's amazing that the songs can only knock it down that little.
Here is now an even bigger question. What hopes do you have for season 4? I have told you a lot of things to look forward to.
Discord more, first of all.
More Discord.
I want to see Twilight try to fly because I know she's going to have trouble getting used to it and she's going to bump into things and it'll be
What
pretty
did you
funny.
think of that final shot, though?
Not sure.
I think that was more like a glide of adrenaline.
Yeah. Here's my thinking behind this.
Did you notice how she wasn't really flapping her wings outside of like a couple times?
Yeah.
And otherwise they were mostly open the whole way. I think it was really just a glide of, oh God, yes!
Oh God, yes! Oh God, I'm never going to do that again.
What the hell voice was that?
That was my rubber ducky voice.
Yeah, you gotta use that in one of our sketches at some point.
What, this?
Save it for that,
Okay.
and record it when I'm not around.
Oh, why? Does it make your toes hurt?
No, it makes my ear hurt.
Because sometimes when I hear strange noises, my toes hurt.
No, it makes my ear hurt, and I already have red earwax.
Yuck.
Or at least a dark orange.
You should see a doctor. But anyway, back to the episode.
Actually, they say there's nothing wrong. Had him checked multiple times.
But back to the episode. What else do we have to say about this one? I don't have too much more to say. Again, I was wondering if her wings folded, but they finally did at the end. Do Celestia and Luna's wings fold?
Yeah, we've seen them fold.
Wing boner. Oh, back to the subject though.
Yeah.
Wing boner. So if they lose their wings, is that like a man losing his you-know-what? They get wing boners.
They can. I know you guys can't see me, but I'm
He's
just.
face palming.
I'm not even really face palming.
Face hoof.
Yeah, I just got my knuckles against my head here. I'm kind of sitting here like the thinker, just. I don't know how to dignify that
is
one.
pooping, right?
Huh?
You realize the thinker is pooping, right?
Regardless, I can't dignify that with an answer.
I can. Wing boner. Wing boner. Wing boner. Getting boners in your wings. Chicken wings.
Heaven forbid if we come across a Pegasus in our journeys.
Hey, when your wings stiffen like that, it's pissed. What? Slap. What? It was a biological question.
Moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. This is getting uncomfortable even for me. I like this episode. It's in the bottom of my top middle tier.
Bottom of your top middle?
Yeah, I wouldn't put it. It's the questions. It would have been at the top of the middle top tier. This is getting complicated.
Okay.
I have an image in my head.
Okay, how about we put it on a like it, love it, hate it, it's okay. Well,
Or it's
okay,
godlike.
hate it. Nah, no, it's godlike.
I put it between like and love.
Like and love?
Yeah, like
Yeah, I would put it on like and love as well because I actually told you during Celestia's ballad, what did you think of Celestia's singing voice?
pretty good.
I mean, you could definitely tell they're hitting a lot of different types of music.
She's a god. What's the politically correct term at this point?
What?
For god, for a female god? Is it still goddess? Because I know waitresses don't like being called waitresses. They're all just servers. Deities. That's what we'll call them. She's a deity.
Deity of the sun, deity of the moon, deity of love.
Deity of the moon is the coolest. But anyway,
Yeah.
I love this episode. It was really good. What would I put in my love tier? Bridal gossip. You knew that was coming, I know.
That's an
Too many Pinkie Pies.
it's okay for me because of the jokes, but it's teetering towards hate because of the story for Bridal Gossip.
They can't see what I'm doing, can they?
No.
Horn erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, it seems to run in the family in the 3rd season.
He had genital warts. Or hornital warts.
Aye.
But anyway, what else did I put in my love tier? I really enjoyed the Chrysalis episode. The second part more than the first part, just because of Chrysalis. Because she was legitimately threatening. And she defeated a deity.
Yeah, second
And she's
part,
just a normal person.
even with the hokey ending.
I didn't care for the hokey ending. It's still up there, but
Well, what he expected is fairy tale, but it was a kick-ass fairy tale.
I was kind of hoping that Luna would swoop in and fight Chrysalis. Because we literally did
Hey, did I miss anything?
Yeah, really. That was the dumbest thing ever. Hi, every pony. Did I miss anything? I want to see like a scene where like Celestia takes her aside and like it doesn't show the whole thing. It's like takes her aside, it goes dark for a second. She's like, "Oh, you guys see? They can't see my face."
I'm pretty sure that someone's already made like their own fan animation as to what she was doing at the time.
Shocked face. Why didn't you call me? How? Right. Sorry. Or even better, she was sleeping the whole time. I know we already talked about this, but that just seems so funny to me. Princess Luna, we need your help!
I'm convinced she actually is...
Throws the alarm clock at the door.
I'm convinced she's sleeping. She was sleeping at the time, but not in Canterlot.
I feel like the only way she stays up all night is she like goes to the other side of the earth and sleeps at night and then comes back and stays awake at night.
I don't know.
She can travel through dreams. She could go anywhere.
Because is Equestria round?
I think so.
You think so?
Well, the earth is flat, so Equestria has to be round. And that's how the earth was made.
So would that mean that at this point there's actually an entire side of the globe that has Princess Luna ruling?
I hadn't thought of that.
Because she's the active one at the time?
I hadn't thought of
Or
that.
does Celestia go over to the other side of the earth to rule over during the day when everyone would be awake?
Maybe they just switch sides. Maybe they don't sleep at all. They are deities.
Actually, you'll see in the next episode they do sleep.
I sleep. I enjoy
Because
sleeping.
note how Luna said at
It's the only time I'm happy.
Note how Luna said during the candlelight wedding, rest now, sister. As always, I shall guard the night.
Mm-hmm.
She's telling her to go to sleep.
She could just be resting her eyes, but that is sleeping. I guess you're right. You ever notice that Celestia's horn is like this long?
By Celestia's horn extender
I didn't
from
think.
Tommy Oliver.
And
No, wait, not Tommy Oliver. Silver Quill. By
They-
the way, watch his reviews. Awesome guy.
they can't see what I'm doing, but
Like-
her horn is like 2 feet long. Luna's horn is like a foot long. A foot long. And what's her name? Twilight's horn even now.
Cadence or...
Cadence is the same size as Luna. I'm convinced. Except that Luna is
I
taller.
don't know. We have seen a 10-foot candy cane.
That's true.
So, and they do straight out say 10 foot.
Did I ever send you that size
So
chart?
I would say that if Scootaloo's about 2 feet, then Twilight and Company would be
4 or 5.
4.5, 4 or 5.
Yeah. I
So
can ride that.
where would that put?
I'd put Luna at 6 foot.
You'd put Luna at 6? I would put Celestia.
Not Luna, Celestia.
Celestia I would put at 6 foot tall.
I put
and-
Luna at like 5 something.
Yeah, I'd put Luna at maybe 5 foot.
Small end, lower
5
end of the
foot 7?
spectrum. I would say lower end. I'd say like
Lower
5
end?
foot 1 or 2 because you notice she's close to half the height of Celestia you saw in that last frame.
Yeah, but she is taller than Princess. No, well, she is taller than Twilight. Twilight's now about as tall as Luna now.
From what I've seen, I remember I rewatched the episode. Nightmare
Actually, no,
Night
wait.
episode.
She's not as tall as Luna. Luna's taller than Shining Armor.
I rewatched
So
Luna
I would
Eclipse,
actually...
and
Oh,
I
you did?
Yeah,
What, just Halloween
Yeah.
board?
Halloween bored, and it's a great episode.
Yeah, we're recording these on...
And that's the first time we see
we're
Luna in a
recording
full
these,
episode.
Yeah, we're recording these after Halloween, November 1st.
All Saints Day. Spirits?
Oh,
No, All Spirits Day.
oh, yeah.
But anyway, I can hear them calling from beyond the grave. But anyway,
No, they're going to the moon.
when I saw Twilight, if Luna was here, I saw Twilight to be about here.
Yeah,
it wasn't
because
too much
Twilight's
shorter.
Twilight was as tall as Shining Armor now.
Yeah,
So how tall do you think she is now?
probably just shy of Luna's height.
Just shy of
Because
Luna's
I feel like
height?
Luna's a little taller than Shining Armor.
So say Luna's 5'3", I'd put Twilight at maybe
5'1", 5
because
foot.
we've seen her in comparison to the other main 6 too,
Yeah.
and they're all the same height still. Which
So about 5 foot.
she's about 5 foot.
That's what I would say.
I don't know. She didn't look a whole foot taller than the
Well-
other main 6.
I think the size has changed throughout the series, proportionally. But anyway, Luna, if you notice, Luna and Celestia are built a little differently than a lot of the rest of them. They're more
Well, Luna was
tall-oriented.
shorter when she was first reformed, too.
Well, yeah, all of her energy was drained.
Maybe she's still regaining. Because interestingly enough, it actually gets taller later.
But again, I think the proportions
then-
change throughout the series.
Yeah, it
could
might
just
just
be
be
animation.
errors.
Like Derpy.
I mean, we're
Bubbles.
I mean, I know for a fact when we get stuff going, we're definitely going to have a few here and there. Feel free to pick apart.
Like the random pony error. I don't remember what episode it was. There's one random pony with its eyes closed and a big smile like this. And I didn't understand why they were smiling like that. And they stayed there. They were just standing there like that. It's like, did they have a stroke or something?
What, was it just a random static background pony?
Yeah. With that face on.
I'm surprised you didn't point that out.
I did. It was like season 1 though. That's probably why I don't remember.
Well, that's season 1.
But anyway, this
I mean, heck,
episode...
if you didn't notice in the pilot of the pilot episode altogether, when Nightmare Moon's first showing up, they actually have the Cutie Mark Crusaders cowering together.
True.
Even though they didn't introduce each other to... they didn't know each other yet.
True. But my final thought about season 3, it was only 13 episodes long. That's what I'm not happy about.
Yeah, it was a very short season.
And I can't imagine if I was watching it on TV and I was waiting for the next season and this
to think
happened.
This was the first season of a brand new showrunner
Yeah.
at the time, and a huge change into the into a few of the writers, like a lot of new people coming on.
It's a good thing though, because it's improving. But anyway, there's something I wanted to mention.
Because think of it like this.
You were saying that now that the hub is Discovery Family, it might change its format. I noticed they still have all the same shows on. They just have more Discovery shows during the day.
Interestingly enough, they actually aired Rainbow Rocks.
I thought it was in theaters.
It was in theaters, but they
It
aired
wasn't
it
a
on
huge
TV,
one.
I guess.
Oh, okay.
Well, gee, they want...
I don't think they're going to let go of the
Think of
cash
it.
cow.
Yeah, exactly. The show's a big commercial, but here's the thing is that people actually... broadcasting don't make that much money off of broadcasting the show.
That's true.
They get ad revenue.
Yeah, well, imagine how many people are watching that show and seeing this.
Yeah.
And that's where their money comes from. That's how Equestria was made.
Oh, actually, you missed this during the time that the Candlelight Wedding was going on. There was this one product that kept being advertised during the entire thing.
What's that?
GAC.
GAC?
Yes. Nickelodeon GAC. Do you remember that stuff?
Of course.
They re-released it during the at the same time that the Candlelight Wedding was airing, and that was just the only product that was constantly popping up. It was just GAC and My Little Pony in the commercials,
I will GAC that.
and it became the biggest meme because no wait, it wasn't during Candlelight Wedding. It was during the Crystal Empire, and it became this huge meme because the commercial, the product that didn't even belong to the show, got more screen time than the main villain.
That's true. The main villain showed up for like 5 seconds.
And it got more attention than he did too. More people made fun of GAC than Sombra. They made fun of how little attention Sombra was getting because of GAC.
I want to see Sombra come back and be more evil.
It would be awesome to see him come back.
See him more like he was in Fall of the Crystal Empire.
Interestingly enough, there is actually a comic series. It's, I can't remember what issues they are in the IDW comics.
Yeah.
But it actually is about a parallel world where reverse the moralities of all the characters.
Oh.
And Sombra is still alive.
Is he the good guy?
And Celestia is a tyrant.
I gotta see that.
I think it happens after the Big Mac arc.
I gotta see that. But back to this episode.
Because I think it goes,
Not yet, apparently.
yeah. I'm getting on a tangent. I'll talk
That's
to you
my
about
job.
this later. No, it's kind of both of our job.
True. I really enjoyed this episode. It would be a love episode. I loved it. Almost as much as Bridal Gossip.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, my only complaint about season 3 was a great season. It was just too short.
Yeah.
They could have come up with more stuff instead of recycling an idea for 2 episodes.
Which idea did they recycle?
They did the two-sided episode with the Crystal Empire and Spike.
Oh yeah, I don't even think that was recycling the idea. Those were literally 2 completely disjointed stories.
They're only connected by the fact that Tank hit Spike in the head.
Yeah, they were connected by tiny things.
You don't want to get hit in the head with a flying turtle.
You could have removed Spike and company away from that final shot in the last episode, and you would have been none the wiser.
True.
It would have just been like, oh, I recognize that gem. Spike was there.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have had to see him under the train.
You don't throw things at Fluttershy.
The big thing was that they played that suspenseful music like, oh, why are they there? We already know.
They should have shown it in reverse. I think you're right. But anyway, season 3, again, only complaint, 13 episodes long, could have been longer. It took us a lot longer to watch it between the Halloween party and the problem we had watching the last episode.
Yeah, it took us a while to actually get through to this.
The fact that I couldn't stay awake for the last episode.
I think this season is actually...
It's full length. I checked.
Yeah, 26 episodes.
Twilight does get a kingdom, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Well, at this point you would have already gotten...
Bats!
Yeah.
We can't stop here. This is Bat Country.
Oh, you're going to have fun with that.
Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah, we're going to get started on season 4. We've been recording for like nearly an hour.
Twilight Sporkle.
I don't know, do you want to try and ramble for 10 minutes to get it to the full hour? Because let's face it, there is still a lot to say about this episode. I just can't think of anything.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. We did bring up the discussion. Do you think that cutie marks are on both sides?
Yes.
Because remember, we see the ones flying and it was on the opposite side.
Mm-hmm. I think there was another thing I wanted to bring up as well. Oh yeah, we never finished our discussion about the harmony. Yeah. The elements of harmony.
Oh yeah. Are they... You mean the thing about whether it's in...
Yeah, we got on the tangent about World of Darkness.
Oh yeah.
Whether or not it's in the gems, them, or both. I say both.
I do too.
I would say that, like I was mentioning with the World of Darkness before we got on that tangent, let's try and figure out what tangents we left off on.
Hey, this next episode kind of circles back a bit. Summer Sun, first episode.
Stay on track.
Sorry.
Is that, yes, the gems have power, but they have to be activated by a person with that particular attribute.
Yeah. And so Luna and Celestia have all those attributes apparently because they use them.
I don't know. There's 2 of them. What if they only have 3 each?
Who would have which ones?
I think we had this discussion before.
We did, and I rethought this. I have to say that who would be Laughter? That's the question. I have to say probably Celestia. Because you remember that little troll thing she did with the T?
Yeah, I could see her being Laughter, but I see her more kindness, generosity, and magic.
Yeah.
Luna, I mean, come on. Now the fun's been doubled!
That was funny. Now the fun has been doubled! And what were the other ones?
Generosity.
No, you said that Celestia had that. Laughter.
Honesty.
Laughter, honesty, and loyalty.
Yes. I'd say those actually would fit Luna.
Me too, actually. Because the only thing that made her turn was becoming Nightmare Moon, and I really feel like there was something else going on there.
I mean...
Which is explained in the
comics. I do remember something about this episode that might blow our idea out of the water, but I don't know. Maybe we actually guessed it right. Because honestly, I don't remember... Well, colorblindness doesn't help to begin with.
Yeah. But, yeah.
So
I really feel like there was something else at play there that wasn't just her and her jealousy. I mean, I feel like there's going to be some degree of jealousy. I mean...
IDW Comics, Arc 2, Nightmare Rarity.
I know. I looked into it. But what I'm saying is...
The first one is The Return of Chrysalis.
Even if we don't look at that, though, completely take the comics out of the picture, there had to be something else there. Even if they say the comics aren't canon, because... Excuse me. Burped. I don't see Luna as the kind of person that would do that. Because you remember when she was freed of it, the first thing she said was, "I'm sorry." And nobody turns around that quickly from something they did.
Yeah.
So there had to be something else going on there. And the elements of harmony, it makes sense, restored harmony between the 2 sisters.
Yeah. But why would it have banished to the one sister in the first place?
Maybe she couldn't separate her from whatever force that was.
not powerful enough with just one person wielding the elements?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, what if she was trying to use it as a set, but she couldn't use 3 of them because they belong to Luna?
It's true.
Huh. I actually haven't thought of it like that. But anyway...
But I just want to capitalize on this. There was something else there. Luna's not a traitor.
Your waifu.
Shut up! Stop making that joke!
With how quickly you are to defend yourself, I'm wondering if that's a joke.
I'm quick to defend. Sometimes people just defend themselves because something isn't true. You know? Look at O.J. Simpson. He didn't kill anybody. You know what? Let's not get on that subject.
Yeah, you're kind of stepping on hot coals there.
Pony J. Simpson.
Oh, God. By the way, have you noticed that Mike Tyson has his own cartoon on...
Yes! It is hilarious!
What?
Watch it, it's funny.
Oh, God.
But anyway, back to this show.
Maybe if it's ever on when I'm at work.
What discussion were we on? We were on the fact that Luna had to have some other force there. Think about it. Who just randomly turns into a big black vampire horse? Well, besides Brian that one time when he got too drunk, but... And that might have been me being drunk and just seeing that.
And
plus you saw the thing peeling away from
my brain's in season 4.
Yeah.
I
just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Anybody watching this, tell us your theories in the comments. Why do you think? What do you think it was? Do you think the comics were right? I'm almost 100% certain.
I don't know. The show actually in season 4 starts making shout-outs back to the comics.
Which is good. Now, here's my question. What if Celestia was taken over by that force? We've had this discussion, but never on film. I think it would be horrible. What would she look like? I've seen fan art, but it doesn't really seem to do it justice. I'm looking at fan art now.
As bright and hot as the sun itself.
So she'd be orange.
She'd be white.
She is white. She'd be glowing.
She'd be pure white. Like, there'd be no color coming off of her.
And she'd be like, ha ha, I melt you! She would do what they did to Twilight Sparkle.
She would be completely unfiltered solar rays.
That would be dangerous.
Pure fire, plasma, and energy.
Now here's my question.
Condensed.
Does said nightmare energy, does this take them over all at once, or does it happen over a slow amount of time so they don't notice?
Actually, considering that they're called the nightmare forces, can we really think that they would thrive during the day?
I feel like they could. Because I feel like nightmare doesn't just mean a bad dream or night. It means something terrible or horrifying. So if it took over Celestia, God, would it be a nightmare? And I can imagine what the, I can imagine what the, I don't even feel like the elements of harmony would help there. I think they need something a little more powerful. Because Celestia's a god.
I don't know. Luna is by all means a god too.
But I don't feel like she has as much power as Celestia, as sad as I am to say that. But her powers are more subtle though. Celestia's powers are direct.
Yeah.
Like think about the sun versus moon is subtle.
Think of them both as opposites of each other. The waking world, the dreaming world.
What if Luna went into Celestia's mind while she was possessed by the nightmare energy to fight it?
There you go.
You listening? Are you listening, writers? This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Get me on board! Anyway, get me on board as a writer. I already wrote a novel.
That you never finished.
I finished it. I'm just editing it now.
That will take forever.
Shut up.
That's why me and you need other people to do our editing.
First you make the waifu joke. Now you're making fun of my comics or my novel.
No, I'm not making fun of your novel. I'm just
good.
making fun of your editing process. Because you're just as bad as that as me. Why do you think I go to you for my editing?
You know what? I've got a friend who can edit it for me, but we're not going to get on this tangent.
I could edit it for you.
This is something that I want
Well, albeit if it's dialogue heavy, you know me with that.
I'll work on the dialogue. I'm good at dialogue.
Yeah.
But anyway, people watching this, tell us what you think about this whole nightmare energy thing. How do you think it would happen if Celestia were possessed by it? It would be horrible. It would be nightmarish. It would be like the apocalypse. Because she's a god. And who would be left to stop it? Twilight Sparkle, Princess Luna. I said Twilight Sparkle, didn't I?
Yes.
Princess Luna.
I was wondering if you were going to catch that.
And of course Cadence, but who cares about her? She's not my favorite. And the main six, of course. Well, that includes Princess Twilight Sporkle. And yes, they did it on purpose that time.
Okay.
So, yeah. I think that would be a great... If they had to end the series, I think that's what they should end it on. Is that gigantic apocalyptic fight to free Celestia from the Nightmare powers.
If those said powers come back, but I'm pretty sure
I choose to believe they exist.
I'm pretty sure they were eradicated after the comics.
I don't know. You can't really get rid of evil.
They lived on the moon.
The moon is always... I'm the moon. Well,
Luna went there and kicked their ass.
But they were still in her when she came back.
With all the vengeance possible that she had in her against them. For doing what they did to her.
Yeah, they're screwed. They're done for. I just still think it would be cool, though. I think it would be a cool arc. But moving back, we're almost at an hour.
I haven't read those. I haven't read that particular arc myself. I've only read The Return of Chrysalis because that was a comic that my niece got, and I haven't bothered to collect any of the comics yet.
I'm gonna buy them all.
I actually might get copies myself.
One thing I wanted to bring up about Friendship is Witchcraft. They got Scootaloo's voice perfect.
Episode.
They got Scootaloo's voice perfect. That's all I want to say.
Next vlog.
Yeah, anyway, this has been going on for an hour, so let's kind of wrap up here.
We've been going on for more than an hour here, so let's wrap up.
Love this episode.
And it's a perfect wrap-up to the arc.
Yes.
Because the arc was Twilight learning lessons of friendship. What happens when all lessons are learned?
She becomes a princess.
You gain fulfillment.
And they have to continue after that.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're free of that arc. They're free.
Yeah, they're free of the lessons.
They're free of the Twilight learning thing, so now they can go on to much bigger things.
Yes, they could actually go on adventures. They could actually go out and do stuff. Teach other people lessons.
Yes. So I like season 3. It was just too short. That's all I have to say. It would be a 5-star season, but I have to put it at 3.5 because it was just too short.
3.5?
It takes a lot of points away from me.
Yeah, it was a very
If I was watching this on TV, I would be pissed.
It was a very rushed episode, and yes, I was very annoyed. I didn't watch it on TV. I wasn't up at the time because, well, I think I was still going to school.
Yeah. Well,
I was either going to school or I was kind of like looking for work during like second shift hours.
Yeah. But anyway, let's wrap this up because I really have to go to the bathroom.
Alrighty. Yeah, good episode.
Great season.
An awesome end to an arc. Yeah, need to be a 2-parter. And we'll see you guys at season 4.
Winter wrap up.